There's another golem here. Oh, here we go. So this golem hums expectantly. Go pull the lever. Command confirmed. Okay, so now that we've done this, lots of the other golems are going to try and attack us. Something about all of this mission, really, there's just because it does more interesting things with the gameplay, with these traps and stuff, you'll actually find that it bugs out quite easily. I hate this first floor, really, because it always... I've been here so many times, and this worker golem always bugs out and stops moving. Basically, he's going to slowly move through the chamber and then pull that lever, the golem gate lever on the other side of the chamber. And you've got to kind of escort it through. But he bugs out for some reason. He's so easy to bug out, and he will just kind of stop, and you have to restart. Just a word of warning, if this does happen to any of you guys, don't map back to Ratasum. That's going to take you ages to get back here. You don't have to do that. If you type /resign, it will take you back outside the dungeon, right here in the Magus Stones, which is great, which means you can come straight back in with way less hassle. So do just remember that. Also, some people think that he bugs out if you try and speak to him before he gets to the lever, so... Once you've activated him, just ignore him, let him do his thing. But yeah, stuff like that happens a few times in this dungeon, and it's a shame because it takes what is quite a fun and interesting mission and kind of ruins it a little bit. But, you know, I'm glad that Arenanet, they probably knew that bugs like this were going to happen. I'm glad that they went ahead and did it anyway. Invalid command. Did I just accidentally speak to him? No, okay, I spoke to a different one, good. I'm glad they went through it anyway, because even though the bugs are here, I'm just happy to see a bit of variety in the gameplay. Of course, a lot of it is still fighting. At the end of the day, it is a game built around this combat, which is generally rather uninteresting, might I add. But they do a good job here, I think. Okay, so where's the worker golem? There he is. So a cool thing about the golems is they're neither friend nor foe, really. They're just following commands. They just do what they're told, which is pretty great. I like the design of them as well. They look way better in the sequel, and of course you can ride them in the sequel and shit, which is amazing, but they're cool enough here. Okay, so the mysterious voice says, "Blast you, Blim! You may have gotten through the first security check, but you will go no further. Don't pull the lever in the next room. It will only hasten your demise. Turn back now and escape while you can." So she thinks that we're Blim. Or the mysterious voice does, at least. Let's keep on moving. I love this corridor, by the way, with the light kind of shining through. If this was a game with God rays, that would probably look pretty good there. Wow, that's a kind of scary looking face. I've never noticed that before. Are these inactive golems? Why have they got faces on them? Anyway, continuing on. Kind of in a big chamber here. With some kind of magma stuff up there. Maybe it's powering the lab, who knows. Lots more golems. Oh, this room's pretty cool. I like this room. Again, there's a chance, well, not necessarily bug out, but just the nature of this room can screw you over. So there's a lot of inactive golems, okay? None of them want to fight us, but there's a hell of a lot of them. Needless to say, if they all charged at us in one moment, we'd all die, right? Or it would be a very hard fight at the very least. Over here, we've got a golem disabling lever. And I'm not going to walk all the way over to it. Over there, there's an exit to the room, which needs a lever to go in it. So basically, you get the idea. We have to grab the lever, which is going to activate all of the golems, and we got to take it through. So let's try it. Security access pending. There's a bar going down. When the meter empties, you gain access to the deeper levels of the laboratory. Oh, this isn't the bit I was thinking of. Never mind. You should have listened to the voice of reason, it says. Oh, so this is just basically defend. Easy enough. Oh, it must be the next floor I'm thinking of. Golems drop these golem rune stones. I can't really think of any decent use for them. Maybe Nicholas the Traveller wanted them at some point. I'd be surprised if he hasn't wanted them. He's wanted pretty much every collectible item in the game at one point or another. So you can see the golems are now patrolling as well, so it's very easy to over-aggro. There's a point in this mission that I'm actually kind of dreading, because it's a really cool concept, but it's definitely one of those things that if you're playing with humans, it's much easier because the AI is just too stupid to handle it. But we'll get to it when we get to it. There we go, security access. Bing, bing, bing. Okay, we're in. Good. But we still have to fight all the golems, sadly. I guess that security access thing is... A, just to make it a little bit more interesting, but B, to stop one person in the team activating the lever while everyone else on the team waits at the door, and then everybody could theoretically just run through, and that one guy could sort of run past all the golems if he was quick enough and had the right defensive skills. I guess it's to stop that, so you do have to defend. Which, now that I think about it, is a bit lame. Why would they do that? Why? That's a cool... I don't know. This game, Arenanet seem to do quite a lot of things to stop people splitting, like wherever they can in the game. I actually really like... I mean, they've developed a game where you have 8 players in your party at all times, right? Why is it that we see so few missions where you have to split up? I mean, I guess the fact that a lot of people play with heroes and henchmen and they wouldn't be very good at that kind of does ruin it. But why couldn't they have just done some missions where you just kind of choose which characters you want to go do the other thing and they have a 100% success rate? You know, it's all scripted and you just pick which characters you want to stay with. I think that would have been cool. And if you're playing with humans, you definitely do split. In fact, I'm talking about this, and in the Tarnished Coast, the final mission here in the Tarnished Coast has got a cool bit with splitting. But even that, you're not too far away from each other. I'll talk more about that when we get to it, but I would have liked to have seen more of that. I actually quite like the idea of splitting, and yet it's kind of looked down on, I guess, in a lot of the time. So an annoying thing about these golems, as you probably noticed, is they're blinding the hell out of me and causing weakness on me, so physical attackers don't exactly get off easy here. But there we go, I think we fought our way out. Yes, no. How are we back at the entrance? What? Wait, what? What am I forgetting? Were we at the exit already? Oh, how did I miss that? Oh, I'm a moron. Okay. Well, alright, so now we go down to level 2. The depths of Tyria are pretty cool. Whether in a mission or in a dungeon, they generally have multiple floors, which is nice. You never see sort of 2 entrances to the same floors, and you never get sort of multi-leveled mazes, which is what I originally imagined when Arenanet were talking about dungeons in Eye of the North, which is a shame. It's all very linear, so I kind of feel like they're missing an opportunity there. Anyway, the mysterious voice, says, "You certainly don't take a hint, Blim. Get away, don't touch anything." Alright, what's our next challenge then? Is this the challenge I thought it was? Yeah, okay. So we've got a mystical key holder here. Lots of inactive golems around the room, and a long passageway down here with more inactive sentry golems, as you can see, and a long sort of waterway there, essentially. And down there, I'm going to flag my heroes here, is a gate that needs a key. So basically when you pick up the key holder, it's going to activate all of the golems. So the mysterious voice told us not to activate anything. If we don't, we'll be safe, but we have to. So grab the key, shall we say, charge through, my team's over there. The nice thing about this, it's really quite cool, is you can just kind of flag everyone and make them run, because I'm going to use my party window, okay? Because the second things look a little bit hairy, okay, which they don't at the moment, but the second some of your team start to die, or Lena, could you see there? Lena was trapped between the golems. I can drop the item, the crystalline key, and they will all disable each other. But look, they've completely surrounded Lena. So this bug I was talking about earlier, it's not really a bug. Oh, okay, she got out. But the golems can surround you, and if you drop the key outside of where the golems are, you can get completely body blocked, and you won't be able to complete the rest of the mission. But it's cool, isn't it? So you don't even have to fight anyone here, really. You can just run away from them now. And then the second... We almost killed that one, actually. And then the second things look a little bit dangerous, just drop the key. Shit, I moved everyone the wrong way. See, look, and we went the wrong way there. I can just drop the key. It's like pausing time. It's like having the ability to stop time. It's brilliant. And they'll all stop. Look, they're almost perfectly all in the same position. And then pick it up again and get moving. And then the second you put in the key holder, I think it disables them again. Yeah, see? So there you go. And then the gate will open. This is the bit that I was talking about where it's better to have humans. It's cool, but with AI it sucks. So the mysterious voice says, "Aren't you just full of surprises? I hope you didn't come here to cool off because it's about to get steamy." So we're in this watery room with a worker golem. We need to stay alongside the worker golem because can you see these things? They're shooting darts at us which catch us all on fire. Again, I'm going to have the party window on. Protection mode engaged. As long as we stay in range of the golem, we'll be immune to the effects of the fire darts, and we won't be set on fire. But there's things to fight. Basically, you have to just keep in the ring. Now, if everyone was players, this would be fine. No one would ever get in trouble. But look at the AI here. they just, because they only ever follow you, they're constantly moving outside of the ring, especially when fights start. If you have any henchmen or heroes that fight in melee, then you're screwed pretty much. They're just going to run straight out of the ring. Of course, if one person goes out the ring, it's not a problem, of course, because monks can easily out-heal that kind of pressure. But look, the second you get in combat, all of them forget to stay inside the ring, and they all start taking damage. But it's cool. Again, this is exactly one of those things where the developers could have looked at this and been like, oh, hey, yeah, this is okay for when you're playing with real players, but what about people doing it with heroes and henchmen? And the truth is, they just decided it was cool enough to keep in anyway, so, which is great, and I'm happy they did it. But yeah, you step out and you're going to get set on fire and die. It's not uncommon for people to wipe here. A lot of people just recommend like flagging like mad. Just keep flagging, and hope everybody stays in as best as they can. Or you can try and keep them flagged to the front. I don't know. As you can see, the room's quite big here as well, actually. You can go to the other bits of the room. Like I said, when you return to these dungeons later on, when we're looking for Blim's staff, we can come back here and you can kind of explore the room better. There's nothing over there at the moment, though, except for a few enemies. There's no real reason to go over there. I'm not sure why that bit even exists in this version of the dungeon. I'm really not, but there we go. There we go. Come on, everybody keep up. The nice thing is using spirits and minions. Well, minions suck here, by the way, in this mission, because no golems drop exploitable corpses, so you can't make minions out of them. Alright, so we're at the end. The golem's going to turn back, because if you wipe, of course, he needs to turn back to get you. So everybody just runs through. Hey, and I did it without a single death. That's pretty cool. I never usually do that without death. And there you go. That's that little bit done. That's probably my favourite challenge here. Anyway, right, so now we're going to come up to our first hint that golem technology that these three characters are building off of the Iron Forgeman, or they're basing their technology on them. So, did those traps get you all fired up? Leave those golems alone. Turn back while you still have your legs. Don't even try to advance. To do so requires heavy thinking. So we're going to come into a big room here, and we're going to see some architecture you guys might recognise, depending on how good your memory is. So lots of pipes going on here. I'll kill these sentries here. I like how they break out of those like chassis, shall we say, with the faces on them. It's pretty cool. I think what would have been cooler is if the face that you see on the little metal things, it would be way better if the faces were Asuran faces instead of kind of just generic human looking things. That would be a badass. That'd be so cool. Anyway, so right, we've got this big workshop. Big workshop. It's a very big room, isn't it? Lots of inactive golems, lots of active golems, and lots of kind of broken apart pieces of this. Now these people have asked the developers, and they've said, hey look, the Iron Forgeman's dismantled and it's in Ula's lab. What's going on there? And this was a while ago, of course, now, but and the developers specifically said no, it's not the Iron Forgeman himself, it's not him. They are, however, replicas of the Iron Forgeman. So if you remember the Iron Forgeman, it was this big thing that the Stone Summit found. I think it was, they didn't actually create it, did they? They just found it deep under the earth, and they were trying to excavate it. And basically it was being, when we defeated it, if you remember, the Stone Summit were using these things called Rage Binders on it, and when we broke the Rage Binders, 3 ruby djinn came flying out of the inside of it, if you remember, and they were what was powering it. It also, if you go back to the episode and look, I made a bit of fuss about its face. On its face you can see a single red gem. Now remember that if you guys have read Ghost of Ascalon, you might have some ideas about what that's to do with. I will explain it later when we've met all 3 of these characters and the pieces of the puzzle come together a bit better, but do remember that. But basically, from this we can tell that Ula has seen and found the Iron Forgeman, and she started creating replicas of it and dismantling them and seeing how it works. And this is at the very least guiding her on her own creations of the golems. At the very least, she's basing some of her technology off of it. And we'll see lots of different, all 3 of these characters have somehow been influenced by what we found with the Iron Forgeman. When did Ula even go to the Iron Forgeman? That's more interesting if you ask me. When did she go there? What I think is quite cool is that the Asura obviously are a subterranean species, right? They live under here. This is where they came from. And of course, Sori's furnace was underground as well. I like the idea that the Asura had been there long before the Stone Summit started using the dredge as slaves to clear it out, and they'd been there a long time ago, and maybe the dwarves had seen them back then as well, and the Asura sort of wandered around. Maybe even the Iron Forgeman was created by the Asura. Maybe the Forgeman itself was just a prototype a long time ago. I mean, how cool is that? That is a thought. Maybe Ula made the Iron Forgeman. As I said, these Jinn and that big gem, they're all relevant, and they'll all sort of be referenced to as well to do with the Asura. So do remember it. It's a nice thought, isn't it, that maybe they developed it. Of course, it's just purely speculation what I'm talking about. I don't actually know where I'm going right now. I've just kind of wandered around and talked myself into a bit of a stupor. What are we looking at? So there's this big thing here. Lots of lava flowing around. This thing here, it's obviously the same. It's not meant to in lore, but do you remember there were these kinds of fires we always saw on the Fire Island chain? Very cool. I love this texture. You don't see it very often though. Or animation, whatever you want to call it. See, the thing is about this room, it's huge, but I don't really see the purpose of it being so big. Just a load of golems that don't want to fight us. Right, clearly I've gone the complete wrong way, and I kind of knew I was when I was walking down here. I'm gonna, unless this guy... No, I'm gonna speed it up while I run back over there. Here we go. So near this almost complete version of the Iron Forgeman here, we see one of them's called a worker golem, and if we've learned anything through this mission, it's that the worker golems are going to help us. So, worker golem. Oh, sorry about that, my door went. So yeah, we speak to him and he says, command confirmed, worker mode engaged, stationary mode or following mode, sorry, engaged. So we're going to speak to him and we're going to come down here. And we need to get him stationary. Let me check my mini-map. Over here, I guess? Yeah, over here. So the goal here is to find 2 of the worker golems, have them follow you over to the door, and then get them to stand on this pressure plate like this one already is, and then that will open the door, which is cool. I love little pressure plate puzzles. They've been in games since, you know, for so long, but they're great. Okay, so get them to stand on it, and then stationary mode. There we go. So that's one, and then the other one is in this big room as well. There we go, over there. Yeah, I think that the worker golems are actually guarded by 2 hostile golems, and that's how you can tell where they are. It's not actually a hard puzzle. Just don't go over there. It's all pointless over there. There's nothing. Come on, Mr. Golem. Oh shit, okay. Why did I flag my guys so far away? So now the door's open. More sentries are unhappy with us. And you get a pretty cool boss fight here. So a mysterious voice says, you think you're a smart one? Let's put you to the test. It's time for you to meet my latest creation, an indestructible golem. God, she's got so many golems. It's quite clear why the Asura want her to help out with this big golem project they're now doing to help fight the destroyers. She's got an indestructible golem. Okay, this guy's quite cool. You can't do any damage to him, as you might guess. You can, you'll see I'm doing like 3 damage a pop. You can do damage to him through life stealing, so if you use stuff like Spoil Victor, you can kill him, but really it's just a big pain. You'd have to build your whole team around dealing damage in that way, and there's really no point. So my recommendation, kill the little golems first. This guy's big, by the way, and he hits for a lot of damage, so you want to watch out for him, but we can fortunately hit him for more. There's a flux matrix here. What the hell does a flux matrix do? I don't know, but we're going to play around with it. So we're going to come over here, take the flux matrix. What does that actually look like? Oh, just kind of like an eye kind of thing. So we're going to take the flux matrix over to this unstable magical energy source. If we click it without the flux matrix, it says a massive amount of flux energy is concentrated here. It's too unstable to move without some vessel or some sort of containment vessel. Okay, so you grab the flux matrix. So look, he just did 300 damage in one hit to me. Lovely. Take it to the unstable energy source, charge the device, and then drop it at his feet. And boom, you do 1,337 damage, which of course is leet speak for leet. So do it again. And boom, we're out. So nice little reference there. And down he goes. Brilliant. I love the death animation on the golems. So yeah, I think that's the last real challenge. I think Ula's on the bottom floor now. I remember the first time I did this dungeon, particularly that bit with the fire darts. Really, my team struggled so badly. I was pretty much maxed out on my death penalty at this point, and I was just so scared of these golems here. So the mysterious voice says, "Impressive that you've made it this far, Blim. I'll have to redesign my security system to keep you and other meddlesome trespassers away." Okay. So yeah, there's lots of golems. You can go over there, I think, but there's nothing over there. We're going to come in here. Yeah, I remember I was terrified because on your mini-map, if you're playing with the compass, you'll just see a load of golems in here. And I was just terrified that they were all going to come online because I was struggling to like fight even two of them like this. Quite funny actually looking back on it. But if I remember correctly, not all of them become hostile. In like this next room, you're actually okay. They all just stand there and watch you. So yeah, we're about to meet Ula. Of course, from what we've seen, she is pretty damn good with golems, isn't she? So it's a pretty good idea to get her on the team. At the moment, she's probably the most genius Asura when it comes to golems. I think in Asuran society right now, they don't really care about golems that much. But after what happens in Guild Wars 1, particularly with Blim, Ula, and Zim, golems become such a huge part of them, and they just get developed so far. They just Asurans end up making golems do everything for them. Essentially, they just become like this massive thing. It's pretty cool. So we're kind of seeing the Asuran sort of way of life changing here. Anyway, so yeah, here's Ula. Get in here. Let me have a look at you. Did you enjoy the challenge as much as I did watching you squirm? Ha! Now I love the way I don't really like the character that much. Of course, you're not supposed to like the character, but Ula's looks pretty awesome. I love the way Ula looks. This is one of the reasons why I love the look of the Asuran Guild Wars one. Just look at what she's got on her head here. It's amazing. But I don't think you can get it in the sequel. You just kind of get these horrible, weird looking ears. You never get the big floppy ears. The eyes aren't black anymore. They're kind of weird and they've got like these colours in them. I don't know. Anyway, here's a cutscene. So, Ula.
So, you've come crawling back, Blim. Did you bring that flux matrix I need? You aren't Blim. Vec? Is that you?
Greetings, most wise and puissant Ula, mistress of the magical engine.
Butter up the other side and pan-fry me, Vec. What do you want?
I bring word from Council Leader Memp.
That old fossil?
We need your superior skills for a great project to help all the Asura.
Ha! I came down here to get away from all the Asura. Now scram.
We need your help against the destroyers.
Have you been hit on the head? I said no. Now go away.
Well, Vec, I guess you were right. She's not the one you want.
What are you saying?
Vec was telling me that older Asura tend to lose their edge, that your skills may have deteriorated.
What do you mean? There isn't a better golem answer than yours, truly.
Probably, but if you're afraid the challenge is too much...
I'm not afraid of any challenge. Let me pack my equipment. I'll show you. Deteriorated. The nerve.
Nice job.
Not bad for a buka?
Couldn't have done better myself.
Okay, so there we go. Mission complete. The first of 4, I think? No, it's 3 missions in Asuran territory, but there's 4 primary quests. So yeah, that's the first one complete. We've got Ula on the team. As far as we know, except for this mysterious Zin person who we won't be meeting for a while, the best Golemancer around, so she's going to get on the project. That's that first bit done. We've actually filled in this page of our hero's handbook, as you can see. It's called Ula's Laboratory in the handbook, but that's actually a bug. I think it's supposed to have a different name. Ula's Laboratory is actually the name of the dungeon where you go back in there and help Blim out later on, which hopefully you will see. So I'll probably read that out later, but yeah, I guess that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and I will see you next time. I also hope Gamescom is as good as I'm hoping it's going to be, so I'll see you guys later.